All right, everybody, light up those pumpkins because we are live. There we go. We are live. Let's see who else is awake out there tonight. What's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. I am Matt with Halloween Daily News. I already see some familiar faces up in here, up in the live chat, already participating like every week. I see Ryan and David, Ken, Sammy, Summit. So many of you guys. There's Phil, Jake Blaster. A lot of you guys. I saw Fazbear in here earlier. If you're new here, my name's Matt. I'm with Halloween Daily News, and this is our weekly live conversation with the Halloween movie franchise fans here on YouTube and on our channel, and where we just go over any of the week's franchise news and geek out about all things Michael Myers related and all things Halloween movies related. And like last week, this is another week where there's pretty much no news as far as movie stuff, Halloween Kills and stuff. But, got a couple little items to talk about nonetheless that I found. And we're going to share a couple of Instagram posts and Twitter posts from earlier today. And I've got a couple, not one, but a couple flashback clips to share with you guys in just a little bit. All right. I see Patrick Ring is back for another round of Michael Myers Monday. Thanks for being here, man. Ryan Korn, of course. Let's see, Sean, welcome, Sean Haldane. There's Phil, awesome. Phil got his second shot today, good man, awesome. All right, guys, good to see everybody. Yeah, good to see that that everybody sounds like they're doing well. Having a good week so far. Good start to the week. There's Visible Saint. What's up, man? Thanks for being here again. I love it. Yeah, this is awesome, guys. Like I said, not a whole lot of news this week. Really quiet as far as marketing for Halloween Kills, what we're all waiting for. But as we've talked about week after week, every day something doesn't happen, it's that much more likely that it's going to happen the next day or the next week. So, but let's just, before I even do anything right here, let's just go back, if we can, for just a minute. It's June 7th, 2021. Let's go back 3 years, shall we? Just under 3 years. Do you remember what you were doing on June 8th, 2018? Well, here's what you were doing. It's what I was doing. It's what we were all doing on June 8th, 2018. That is the day that the official trailer for Halloween 2018 dropped. 5 days earlier, the Monday of that week, Jason Blum had tweeted that it was coming. It was preceded by some new images from the film, a teaser for the trailer on Wednesday. And on Thursday, there was even some actual footage, a bit of a scene featuring Laurie Strode from the film. And that all built up to that Friday, June the 8th, 2018, when that first official trailer dropped. Yeah, guys, it was this week. This week, 3 years ago. You remember the excitement in the air that week? I mean, there was excitement that whole year, but that week, and by the time that trailer dropped, you guys remember? It was insane. It was completely insane. So here we are, 3 years later, of course, anxiously awaiting the Halloween Kills trailer. Could drop at any minute. Who knows when. But, that excitement is definitely in the air. If you're looking at the franchise social media accounts, I'm talking about Universal's official Halloween movie account, which was for the 2018 film and will be used for Kills, as well as Trancas's usual Halloween movies accounts. They're sharing a lot more activity in the last few days, obviously trying to generate a little bit of excitement, waiting for this official marketing to kick in. We've also got people like James Jude Courtney sharing just today. He shared a another flashback video that from behind the scenes that Ryan Freeman had shared a while back, and we've seen it, but obviously this is in people's minds. Anthony Michael Hall as well. He's getting hyped up for the release, so things are starting to happen. All right, before I get into any of the news of this week or go any further, we still have a few people coming in. Again, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And for all my returning friends, welcome back, guys. Happy Michael Myers Monday. And like I always say, I know it's a broken record for you guys that are here every week, but for any new people, you'll just see that I kind of instinctively tend to have a sip of my drink, my Michael Myers Mango Twist that I drink every week out of my Michael Myers mug. You'll see that I tend to take a sip every time I say Happy Michael Myers Monday. You don't have to at home. But if you want to, and there's a shot of alcohol in there, then, it might just make the show a little bit more funnier as it goes on. A little funnier. So, yeah. Cheers, everybody. Happy Michael Myers Monday. All right. Like I said, real quick, before we get into things, some low stock alerts. And I mean really low. I usually show you some of the items that we have in stock at our own online shop. This week, I'm just going to talk about a few things that we're about to be completely out of. Starting with this badass keychain. I talked about it last week, and we've sold a ton, and we are down to, this is actually the last one that we have in hand right now. This is an officially licensed Halloween 2 Michael Myers keychain from Trick or Treat Studios. It's $12 plus shipping, and we got one more in stock. We will get more. We are definitely going to get more, as well as some of the enamel pins soon. But honestly, I don't know how soon. I don't know if we're going to have them before we start hitting some of these live conventions, or before we, before October even. So that's the last one of the Halloween 2 keychain. And it doesn't come in any special packaging. It just comes in a tiny plastic Ziploc. One other thing that we've got just super low. Yeah, David's got the keychain. He can vouch for its awesomeness. Yeah, I mean, it's metal. It's pretty awesome. And it's a Halloween 2 mask, but it really is instantly Michael. I mean, it could almost serve as a 78. And also, running super low, down to the last 2 in hand. And I wasn't even sure we had this many, but I had to double check. For all of you revenge fans out there, officially licensed Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. This is the Trick or Treat Studios Fear Freshener. They used to be called Scare Fresheners. I guess there was some kind of licensing thing, and they ended up changing them the next year to Fear Fresheners. Well, we got 2 more of these in hand. And again, we will be getting more of these things. They're not out of print or anything, but as to when, I'm not real sure at this point. So, low stock alert on those. The Halloween 5 Fear Freshener and the Halloween 2 keychain, both available at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. And while we're talking about the Fear Fresheners, that's a cinnamon scent, by the way. And these 2 are cinnamon scented as well. I still don't know why it's not pumpkin scented. But we've got the Halloween 78. This is not a low stock alert, but just while I'm talking about Fear Fresheners, you can see that is the official Halloween 78 Michael Myers Fear Freshener. And last but not least for tonight, anyway, is the poster version of the Halloween 78 Fear Fresheners. Now again, these things actually smell great. I've got one in my car, and but also if you're a collector and have to own everything, then you want every single one, and they're only $4 plus shipping, and all that stuff is available right now while supplies last at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. All right. All right. Jeremy Hemp. What's up, man? He says he got the news today that my pre-order H3 trick-or-treater Spinister figures have arrived and will be shipped. Can't wait. Sweet, man. Yeah, I talked about them actually last week. I don't know if you saw last Monday's live broadcast, but I was actually talking about those spinachers, and that's awesome that you got them. Yeah, they look amazing. I think I need them even just um, to own all of them for the shelf, for my collector's shelf, and the H2 Michael. Patrick says, I have that H2 keychain. It's awesome. They need to do one of each mask from each movie. I agree. Yeah, and I think they will. I think they will do more. I think they just started with H2 because that's the license they've had the longest, and I think they've got, the best deal right now with that one. But I think they will. And like I said, we will be getting more because they've been great little sellers, and we haven't even hit conventions with them, and I know they're going to be great, souvenirs for events. Like if I didn't already own one, that's exactly the type souvenir for $12 that I'd be picking up at some of these conventions. Yukino, I hope I'm saying that right. Yukino. I'm a new fan from last week. The only movie I haven't watched yet is Halloween 6. Okay, any words on this one? Hey, I mean, I dig Halloween 6. It's definitely a little more out there, but I mean, if you've watched all of them, you've seen some out there already. So, yeah, give it a go. The producer's cut is definitely way different than the theatrical cut. And, both have some pluses and minuses. At the end of the day, though, I do think the story kind of pays off better and answers the questions that you're left asking in the producer's cut better. That's just my opinion. I mean, I probably prefer that one for that reason, because it does at least pay off the, the Man in Black and the Thorn storyline. Maybe not as well as it could have, but, it better than the theatrical cut, in my opinion. Theatrical cut, though, has some better gore and, pros and cons on both of them. But awesome. New fan from last week. Yes, I remember seeing your name last week. Thank you for returning. And, welcome to the fandom. Welcome to Haddonfield, right? Let's welcome the new blood, y'all. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Yukino. Summit thinks that H Kills trailer will release either Friday, July 2nd or July 9th. Either right before or right after Independence Day. Entirely possible. I could totally see that happening. And, of course, that's the weekend that Blumhouse and Universal have the new Purge movie coming out, too. So that would work on many levels there. I'm scared since it's so far on the timeline. Yes, with Halloween 6. Yep. And that's really as far as that timeline goes before H2O. If you've already watched that, then, with that, they kind of disregard Halloween 4, 5, and 6. Patrick got the spinachers in the mail over the weekend. Says they are amazing. Got all 4 of them. Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, they're a great buy. Sammy's asking what I think of Rob Zombie directing the next Munsters movie. Well, funny you should ask. I was just about to talk about that. I guess I'll talk about that first. The big news today, all over the place. Rob Zombie, next film is going to be a new version of the Munsters, the classic TV series that we all remember. There's been other feature film versions. There's been revivals and reunions over the years. And, this has been rumored for months now that this was going to happen, and even that it was going to film in Budapest. But today it was official. Rob himself put this image up on Instagram and basically confirmed that the rumors are true. Um, I'm stoked for it. You know, I mean, I want to see what he's going to do. I think he's been building to this for a while. I think it's an exciting choice, and yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of the comments online, the more negative comments, quite a few on our Instagram feed as far as this announcement. Crazy, it gets hundreds and hundreds of likes, and but then the majority of the comments are oh, he's gonna kill it, he's gonna kill it, and yeah, okay, so Herman's gonna say fuck every 15 seconds, and Grandpa's gonna be a pimp. Somebody was one of the comments on Instagram, and you know, but I mean, no, in all seriousness, and I don't know what direction they're gonna take in this, but I do not think Universal, NBC, anybody involved with this is looking to make a hard R Devil's Rejects style Munsters movie. I think this will look very much less like what we've come to know as a Rob Zombie film, whatever that is, than all of his other ones. And so what I'm saying is I think we're going to get like a PG-13 Rob Zombie doing, the Munsters. And I think, if he brings what, brought him into it as a kid and some of those same aspects that got him into Munsters when he was watching that, basically on first run as a kid, yeah, I think it could be something great. So I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to it. I think, yeah, we all know who's going to play the wife, Ryan says. Yeah, I mean, I think that part's probably a given. Yeah, he's going to cast Sherry as Lily Munster. And again, though, I don't have a problem with that. I think, she'll probably do a fantastic job, actually. Maybe not, but let's see. He gets a lot of flack for casting his wife and some of his favorite people. But, I mean, plenty of directors do that as well. And I was thinking about it earlier today, that, oh, he only, cast her because his wife, I mean, you could argue that, but I mean, in all fairness, honestly, maybe she's his wife because he can see her playing all types of roles and inhabiting all types of characters that he has been so enamored by in his own life. So anyway, he's a monster kid, a little bit older than us, but I grew up White Zombie, saw them in concert plenty of times, and then when he went solo, I mean, Dragula was like his first solo hit. So he's been wanting to get his hands on the Munsters for a while. So I'm looking forward to where it's going to go. And also, if he does put Sherry in that role, as rumored, the other rumor is that Jeff Daniel Phillips will play Herman. And I don't know if that's true. It's not been confirmed yet, but that's the rumor. And, if that's the case, well, let's applaud some Halloween franchise members right there. I mean, that's Mama Myers right there, and of course Jeff Daniel Phillips played two different roles in Zombies Halloween 2, very memorably, and had a great death scene in one of them as well. So again, I'm looking forward to how it develops. I'm gonna give it a chance. I remember the last version of the Munsters that they did with God, what was that guy? Is it O'Connell? Jerry O'Connell, I think, was Herman or something. Anyway, that version was not good. And I mean, I own the Christmas version where it was like different actors and made like a decade or so after the original series. As a feature film, I mean, you give it a chance because it's Christmas and it's the Munsters, but it's not that great. So I guess what I'm saying is, it's an exciting, bold choice, and that's what we want to see. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be a hard R. I think it's going to be a family friendly movie done Rob Zombie style, and you know, I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping he surprises people and gives us something fresh and entertaining for almost all ages. Uh, and I also definitely think, because if you do the history, the Munsters and the Addams Family, they were airing right at the same time. So they've always been on two different networks. So they've always been kind of, and the second Addams Family animated film is coming out this year. The last one was a huge hit. I think this is definitely coming almost as a direct result of that. Um, and clearly, Rob has put his foot in the you know in this world for quite some time. He said in his post, it's the film he's been chasing for 20 years. So anyway, I know a lot of people are not happy with it. You don't have to watch it, of course, and but I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna look forward to it, and yeah, I hope he sets it around Halloween time, because most of his movies are set around Halloween time. House of a Thousand Corpses, uh, Three from Hell, of course, his two Halloween films, 31, all take place on or around Halloween. So I'm personally hoping that he keeps that going as well and gives us a Halloween time Monsters movie. But we'll see. Also, whether or not it's going to be an exclusive on Peacock, it totally makes sense that it will. And one cool thing about that, I just read today, Peacock, if you've got a Samsung Smart TV like myself, Peacock will be available as an app on the TV finally. Which there is a free version of Peacock. Now, this movie very well will be a premium version, but again, none of that's confirmed quite yet, other than the fact that he's going to direct it next. But that's my thoughts on that, and that was my first news item, because that's what we got this week. It's just some alumni news, some birthdays, some flashback videos. So let me see what you guys are saying about this. Yes, David Suber says they'll never have the chemistry of the original. Oh, I agree. I mean, it'll never have the charm of the original, but I'm hoping that if he can tap into some of that nostalgia, some of that, what made it fun, and some of those jokes, without modernizing it too much. Again, I could be totally wrong about this, but I think he's going to approach this, dare I say, with more respect than he approached the Halloween franchise. I think he's going to. I don't think it's going to be a thing where, again, I've talked before about his Halloween films and how it, Carpenter told him do your own thing, and that's exactly what he did, and I've spoken on some of these lives very much in defense of that and in favor of that, because if you're gonna go balls out different, and reimagine it. That's a reimagining. This I don't think will be that type of reimagining. I could be wrong. We'll see. But my gut feeling is I think he's going to give us, I almost feel like it might be in black and white. You know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like it might be, just like a very kind of throwback thing. If you've watched, his music videos over the years and just, his paid attention to his artwork. I mean, again, I'm a fan. I'm a Rob Zombie fan. Long before he ever made House of a Thousand Corpses. I had seen him in concert numerous times. So, and I've said this before, if you guys have watched over the months that we've been doing these, so this isn't news. And I probably lose viewers every time I say it, but, I am. Are they my favorite Halloween movies? No, but do I like them? Yeah, I like them a lot. And I like his other movies even more. Like, I love House of a Thousand Corpses. That is a Halloween classic for me. But, so that's where I'm at with that. Let's see. Phil's looking forward to the movie. Nice. Sammy says he does tend to use a lot of classic Halloween artwork and masks in his films, so it should be interesting visually. Lots of retro Halloween artwork in the scenery. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd like to see that. I mean, again, I could be way off on this, and we'll see. But I think he's going to approach this with a certain reverence and respect, and hopefully try to tap into some of the same humor of what made it all cool. I did see the new Addams Family animated movie, not in theaters, but I did see it eventually. And, you know, again, is it as good as the classic Addams Family series? Of course not. Is it as good as those theatrical films in the 90s? No. Uh, is it a little more younger audience oriented because it's animated? Of course it is, yes. Uh, but it's still it's fun and entertaining, and it doesn't reinvent things so much. And if you are familiar with the series and have watched most of the episodes like I have, there is some fun callbacks and some reverence there. So hopefully he's going to do something along those lines, but obviously through a different lens. And I do think it'll probably be a little bit more PG-13, but not in our uh, because I don't think anybody really, it's like, does anybody want the rated R Addams Family, the rated R Herman Monster? I mean, no, I don't think that's what Universal or anybody involved wants to use that IP for. So, excuse me. All right. Um, the one bit of forward moving news, and again, this is not news. This is not even new. It's just one thing that I haven't talked about on here, but I did have. It's the exact same quote that we talked about in an earlier article a few weeks back. You'll recall we've been discussing when exactly Halloween Ends is going to begin shooting and where. And if you've been watching in just the last few months, really, it's been my, a lot of signs are pointing to it's going to come back to Wilmington, North Carolina, where they shot Halloween Kills. It's not confirmed yet. It's not set in stone. What we know for sure right now is Blumhouse did film The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke in Wilmington earlier this year. Currently, right this minute, they're in Canada shooting Firestarter. You might have seen just in the past week, we got our first look at the young actress who's going to play the new lead in that, the Drew Barrymore role. So Ryan Turner, those guys, they're up there doing their Firestarter thing right now. Excuse me. And all signs continue to point to, once that wraps next on the docket for Blumhouse should be HK. That's going to be later in the year. That jives with everything that we've been hearing and seeing in recent weeks. And so here, what I've got tonight is just one more article. And again, this isn't even a new article. It was published not last week, but the week before last. So on April 28th, actually. Excuse me, on April 28th. Okay. Well, this might be one that I did show you then. But you'll see down here, this is Star News. This is a Wilmington-based newspaper. And this is another article where they mention what is known is that a Blumhouse feature film will begin production in Wilmington in the second part of 2021. And it is still widely believed, though not confirmed, that Halloween Ends will be that film. And again, that is very much what we have heard and seen all the way through leading up to now. Second half of the year, that's anytime starting in July. Like I said, they're up in Canada shooting Firestarter right now, which, by the way, the original Firestarter, or was that shot? Pop Quiz? Wilmington. That's another story. But yeah, that's going to wrap filming probably early to mid July, I imagine, into this month, late this month, early next month. So then you figure about the time it took between the Black Phone and Firestarter to ramp up, roughly a 2-month period. They take roughly July, August, but finalize everything for HK. And I think it's very realistic. End of August, early September, and that's when they start shooting in Wilmington. Everything's been pointing that way. If you listen to what's been said. So, and that's going to be tricky though, because we're all going to be hungry for, you know, photos from set and what have you, which is going to be exciting, but it's going to be a little sketchy because, of course, we will not have seen HK yet. It won't be out yet, and they're going to be shooting most likely, I expect. So, so we're going to have to be a little bit weary of too much spoiler stuff, but you know, some of that stuff kind of came out with HK, and you know, it's kind of, you know, my thought on that is nobody really knows what's in the final cut of the film right now, unless you know you were at that test screening. Even people that have read the script, you don't know if that's, you know, what was left in the final edit. So, so that's my thoughts on that. But that's just another article from that same outlet, from that same reporter, Star News in Wilmington, pointing to Halloween Ends. That is still the thought. That is going to be that secret Blumhouse feature. It might be something else, but you know, what else are they definitely planning to shoot this year that you can think of? I mean, they got a lot of stuff going on, but I mean, H Ends is the furthest down the line, I believe. Sammy says, I feel like it's going to be black and white. I guess you're referring to the Munsters, Rob Zombie's Munsters. I could totally see him doing that, doing the Munsters in black and white. And I'd be open to that. You know, maybe it's going to be set in that same time period. Or maybe not. Somebody on our Instagram or Twitter commented they were wondering if any other franchise members were going to be involved. As obviously, you know, we don't know, but we know. We can assume Sherry. And I would assume that rumor about Jeff Daniel Phillips is probably going to come to pass. We know Rob loves him, and I can see him. He's kind of got the Herman look, so I could see him pulling that off. You know, he was hilarious as the caveman in all those caveman commercials over the years. So so I could see that. So I was thinking who else, you know, related to the franchise he might cast, just knowing that, you know, he obviously works with a lot of the same people and has friends. And somebody had mentioned, what if Scout Taylor Compton could be in it? And so I immediately thought, well, she could easily be his Marilyn Monster. If you remember on the series, you know, Marilyn Monster, she's the ugly duckling of the family, but you know, she's the regular looking beautiful blonde, that just all American regular looking blonde woman here with these monsters. And but of course she's the black sheep in that family and thinks she's totally weird. So you know, I could see Scout being cast in that. I don't know who else from the franchise that he's worked with might be in that. David Suber says Tyler Mane. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see. I mean, I didn't see the Tyler's movie where he played a fireman with John Cena. It came out last year. I think it's called Playing with Fire. But it's comedy. It's family comedy. Speaking of family comedies, and it looked, genuinely pretty good for what it is. It's not a horror movie, but I love that it was Tyler and just acting, and I thought he did great in that Netflix show. Unfortunately, it just got canceled, but I did watch every episode of Jupiter's Legacy, and I thought Tyler especially was really good in that. And, so I mean, he can act and do other things besides just uh, stomp faces and be Michael. But yeah, so I can see that. Now, if you're talking about him playing Herman, now that would be amazing. I would, yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, how great would that be for former Michael Myers, Tyler Mane, to be the new Herman Monster? Yeah, now that's something. Yeah, I hear you, David. Yes, as Herman busting through the door. Now we're talking. Ken says Kane Hodder. I could see that too. Any of those guys could be great. Um, you know, yeah, I'm sure they're all on the phone with him right now. I don't know about Kane, but I'm sure Tyler has already. But I imagine we're gonna start getting casting news already. I mean, the rumor was that they were filming last month, or at least beginning filming last month in Budapest, and he did tag that post today as being in Budapest. So whatever all that means, I don't know, but yeah, I agree with you, David. I would love to see Tyler Mane play Herman Monster. I think, yeah, let's get that going. I mean, Jeff Daniel Phillips, I can see it as, but yeah, Tyler would be, a brilliant choice, especially with his current, I guess, uh, cred as Michael Myers, as Sabretooth, now as Black Star in the Jupiter's Legacy. Yeah, I think that'd be amazing. And great for him too on a personal level. Obviously, going to the cons and everything, another great iconic character to add to his resume. So yeah, see, I mean, there's clearly some ways that this could be made really cool. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see. Yeah, Sid would have been the perfect grandpa. I think we can agree. Sid would have been perfect. Yes, Ryan and David, I can't agree more. Right, of course, says get one of the Wayans brothers to play the white chick, to play Marilyn Monster. Yes, because of white chicks. They played white chicks in the movie. That is hilarious. Probably, probably not politically correct enough right now in the current environment, but um, a bold choice if you were to go that way. No, I don't know who would play Marilyn Monster. Like I said, I could see somebody like Scout doing that. But yeah, Sid would have been the perfect grandpa. So who gets that now? I mean, wow, wow, who could even go into that role? There are some iconic actors that he has worked with, and he's really good friends with Butch Patrick, who is actually Eddie Munster. And Bloody Disgusting mentions it in all their articles that Rob actually participated in the feature film commentary for one of the Munsters movie Blu-ray releases that came out last year. So he's good friends, and Butch Patrick does the conventions and everything. He's out and about. So there's an idea too. I mean, I would certainly think that he would have him involved in some way. Behind the scenes as a creative consultant, helping make sure everything's authentic the way it was. And on camera, at the very least, in some sort of cameo, maybe in a different role, kind of like how he brought Danielle back to the Halloween franchise. But why not maybe him as Grandpa? He's already connected to the franchise. Of course, if you're going to do that, I mean, you can almost sequelize the whole thing, and maybe it's not actually Herman, but it's somebody else, and it's a whole new Grandpa. And because Eddie is the new Grandpa, because Grandpa was the patriarch, and Eddie all these years later would be Grandpa's age, so he could either play Grandpa or he could if they wanted to go that route, because that's a whole other thing. Is it going to be a straight remake, or is it going to be, some kind of a sequel? But I really do think black and white's a possibility, which I would be on board for. CGI Sid is grandpa. That's great. Patrick Ring agrees. Tyler Mane has much deeper voice, like Fred Gwynn. Jeff Daniel Phillips does not have deep voice. Yeah. The guy who played Grandpa in House of a Thousand Corpses. That's a good suggestion, Ken, but I think, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I think he passed away too a few years ago. A lot of people from Corpses are not around now, unfortunately. Okay, a couple just little birthday things. Today is Christopher Duran's birthday. Of course, Halloween H2O's Michael Myers. And I just wanted to tell a little story. Of course, I interviewed Christopher. I met him and interviewed him in 2018, another H4O 40 Years of Terror event. And there we are at the event. And he was super cool, super nice. And, a lot of people might have seen the interview with him, and but it was published, I think, it was published at a weird time of year, maybe around Christmas time. So not a lot of people might have caught it when it first dropped. But long story short, in addition to being a generation's Michael Myers, which he is, and a great guy, and one of the most popular Myers performers, there was that petition when they were developing 2018 to have him play Michael Myers. There was a fan petition. And if you guys have been longtime readers, then you know this story, but I'm just going to go over it. When I interviewed Sean Clark about how he helped bring Nick Castle back into the fold as Michael Myers in 2018, with James Hugh Courtney, of course, the full story, there were a lot of other names included and mentioned and in various stages of consideration for that role before they settled on James. Rightfully so, of course, I think we can all agree. But it's so fascinating to think of the what ifs, and the maybes, and just the thought process of the production company. So originally, Sean was approached, and I'm going to fast forward through this. You should definitely read these full interviews at HalloweenDailyNews.com if you haven't already. But Sean gets a call, and they're looking for Tom Morga. Tom Morga, he played Jason in Friday the 13th 5, and he did much of the Myers role in Halloween 4 before George Wilbur came on. And Sean said okay, and he gave him Tom's info, and they said what it was for, about playing the new Myers in the new Halloween 2018, and that they were looking for somebody age, accurate. And then they asked Sean, is there anybody else that you can think of that we should be looking at? And this kind of caught him by surprise. But one of the first name that he told me, that he told them, and this is on record on the interview, you can read it, but and I'm paraphrasing, but it was Chris Duran. And I think partly because he'd probably seen that petition months before, and just in general, Chris Duran is one of the more popular Michael Myers performers, and he's in really great shape, obviously. And then they got off the phone, and it was like a few minutes later, Sean thought a little more about it and realized, well, they're looking for somebody to do Nick Castle. They could ask Nick Castle, and so the rest is history. That led to a couple calls, a couple texts, Jamie Lee getting told about the situation from Sean, and then before you know it, Nick is back in the fold in his cameo role in the 2018 film, passing on the torch, passing on the mask, so to speak, to James. Don Shanks was also, he wanted, and as soon as he heard that story, he was, um, I think from, and Sean didn't say this specifically, but I gathered Don was a little upset that, well, did you give him my name? Like, why didn't you give my name before Chris, or did you? And Sean was like, well, of course, I'll give him your name right now, and he did, and he doesn't know if how far it went with any of them. Well, I tell you all this just to tell you about my interview with Chris, and again, I mean, he was a complete gentleman about this, like all of these guys are. They're not gonna, you know, and but this is what he told me. I said, "Is it true that you met with the producers of the new Halloween 2018?" And Christopher Duran told me the word, quote, the word on the street, if you will, changed constantly. You're too old, or it was, no, we want an older guy, you're too young. It literally swung back and forth, this information. This is Chris talking. He says he threw his hat in the ring and they considered it. He says, quote, and you're not privy to those conversations, obviously. And of course, to me, to get Nick back involved in something is a no-brainer. As long as he can do it, that's what I would do, because it brings it full circle with that group of people. When you think about the big picture and you've got Jamie again and certain people involved behind the scenes, as long as Nick can do it, wouldn't you hire him? So it's nothing to get offended about on my side. It's a no-brainer. I'd go straight to Nick if I were the producer, because right there you've got a good catch to get everybody back in the theater. And everyone's got their favorites, and that just is what it is. End quote. So there you go. I did also ask Christopher while I had him about that petition, because there was a lot of speculation. If you guys remember, who was going to play Michael? Of course, there's always going to be. So I asked him about that petition, and his response was, quote, fabulous, of course, because you've got support out there. That's how it made him feel. He says, quote, what influence it had on the people making the decision, I don't know that it did at all, but it's a really nice nod from everybody, end quote. So there you go, guys. Mr. Christopher Duran. Today is his birthday. Obviously, Halloween 4, one of the most popular films in the franchise, one of the most financially successful in the franchise ever. And he's just an awesome, cool dude. And I will put that interview link down below if you happen to be watching this on a replay or want to come back later, hit the refresh button and check it out after we're done here. Also, today we have another birthday. Some of you may know Miss Pamela Susan Shoop. You know her, of course, as Nurse Karen from the original Halloween 2, the 1981 sequel, which is unbelievably celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. Today is her birthday as well. There she is in the film as Nurse Karen. I mean, undisputedly one of the most memorable, brutal, disturbing kills in all of the franchise. Many people's favorite. A great character. It says hot tub scene. Yes. So right now, what I'm going to do is, because I don't have a clip of me with Christopher, that was an audio interview, but I do have a clip of Pamela Susan Shoop, and this one is also from the 40 Years of Terror event, from the Halloween 2 panel. And this is just a few minutes that I'm going to play for you right now. But this is a bit about how she got involved with the film, and a bit about that famous scene. So here we go. Like I said, this is another one from 2018, the H4O 40 Years of Terror reunion event in South Pasadena. And I'll be right here listening along with you. And then I'll be back on here in just a minute. And got another fun clip to play after that. But check this out.
And I really hadn't done the film. So my agents sent me on this audition, and unlike Tony, said, "Oh, absolutely not. I would never do it. Never." So somehow or other, I ended up with this role, and I guess somehow it turned out okay. But I'd never seen the original Halloween, so Deborah and Rick set up screening for me so I could see what the movie was all about. And I really still didn't have an appreciation for exactly, as you said, what the genre was at that time. But Rick had a way, as a director, of bringing your characters to life. He brought my character to life. There wasn't a tremendous amount there compared to other things I had done on TV. But what he did, he gave her a nuance, and he gave her a personality, and he gave her a dimension that I don't think was on the pages at all. And we were talking about it earlier. I am so grateful to him for that. I don't think all of it ended up in the movie, but it was there, and it was in the subtext. And just working with these people was amazing. And what they said, to realize that you're all here at this time in our lives is just really, it's lovely. And I too am very, very grateful. And I'm grateful for everyone who's here. I've known Nancy since the days of doing commercials when we were very young. I did Rogers with Alicia. I mean, our lives have actually sort of, there's been a synchronicity to them from time to time. And of course, Dick Warlock, who, in my opinion, is the best shape ever. That man can dump you like no. I tell you, it was not the most pleasant experience for 2 solid days that I've had. However, I never felt in jeopardy. I didn't feel at all uncomfortable. He really had such control of my neck. I have had spinal cord surgery since. That's from a fall in Anyway, I just want to thank you all. And I'd like to say just a little thank you to Deborah Hill, who was not on her witness, because she was very good to me on the set, especially during the news. And she sort of stood up for me and stuck by my side, and I really, really, really appreciated her for that. So I think we all
That's right. Give it up for Deborah Hill. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool clip to celebrate Ms. Shoop's birthday today. I see you guys. Somebody said that it's William Forsythe's birthday today as well, Patrick says. I was not aware of that. Well, then now we're going to pause. We're going to have a drink for William and for Chris and for Pamela. Happy birthday to all of them on Michael Myers Monday. I don't have a video clip of William. I do have a photo with him. I don't have it queued up to share right this second, but I will share it sometime. My only real story with him is he was the first. He was at the first convention, horror convention that my wife and I ever attended, and it's not one that is in operation anymore. It didn't last very long, but I went and he was there, and I was super excited to meet him because, again, Rob Zombie fan, and uh, really, I mean, his stuff in Devil's Rejects was just, and of course, his work in Halloween, and so we met him. I want to say like the Friday, like the first day of the convention, and he was cool, and I think I I want to say I got a picture and an autograph. I don't remember exactly, but I think that's what it was. I got his autograph. I got a picture with him. I did the whole thing, and then I thought later that I wanted to come back and and get the photo of he and I signed because um, we had our printer, so we could print out some of our own photography and bring it back later on in the convention. So we did that, and I just remember that he hooked us up. He ended up giving it to us because it was right at the very end of the convention. He had like just made his day, and or uh, you know whatever it was. He was feeling good. He was in a good place, and uh, hooked us up. Didn't charge us uh, for anything, and so I thought that was really cool and fun of him. So that's my William Forsythe story. But yeah, he was cool. Hey Byron, welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Confused about Andy Manichak's birthday. I thought it was last month as well. I don't know. I did see somebody posted somewhere that I saw that today was her birthday, wishing her a happy birthday. If today is her birthday, then happy birthday. But yeah, I thought it was last month as well. We'll have to clarify that when I interview her. We'll have to add that to the list of questions. Another birthday, just since our last live back last week on June 1st, of course, it was Danielle Harris's birthday. And, of course, we're all big fans of Danielle here, and had the pleasure of meeting her a couple times over the years at different conventions and stuff. Um, so I brought a clip for you guys today that I thought would be fun to celebrate her place in this franchise. And this is a clip. It's actually three clips uh, compiled into one. It's about 9 minutes long, and this is from Mad Monster Party in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2019. And you will see this is Danielle discussing the Halloween franchise. In the first section, she is talking about Halloween 4 and 5. Then you'll see it transitions and she's talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween films. And then there's a little bit at the end about her thoughts on the Halloween 2018 film. At that point, she had not seen it yet, because I think that was the initial question. And I don't know if she has yet. I think she has, and I thought it was going to be posted on one of her social media feeds. But if it ever was, I didn't see it and missed it. But because I'm curious too, I'd love to hear her honest thoughts about it. But I didn't catch that. It was fun watching their watch parties of the Rob Zombie films a few weeks back when she was doing that with Scout. So let's go over to this right now and celebrate again. I mean, she just celebrated a birthday. She's a mom of two right now. She's uh, working, directing, producing, doing all kinds of stuff, and this is somebody that has really spent their life connected to this franchise, and so for two generations, definitely. So this is pretty cool and pretty candid, and I think you'll like it. So here we go. Danielle Harris from Mad Monster Party 2019. And I'll still be right here in the live chat as it's going on. And then I'll come back on after it's over.
Now, of course, you worked very closely with Donald Pleasance in 4 and 5. What was it like working with Donald?
It was great. I mean, we didn't have much to talk about, you know. But I remember when he left. I always tell the story when he left Halloween 5. I think it was. He only worked a few days. Then he left, and I would work the rest of the movie. And he made them keep his trailer there for me. And he was like, "You're the star of this movie." And I had this big trailer and this kitchen and a bedroom, and I just thought it was just like the coolest.
What was the most challenging scene for you in the first one you did in 4?
I think I was most scared of backing up into that mirror in the costume shop in the drugstore because it's this thing called candy glass, like breakaway glass, but I don't think I really got like what was going to happen. So, and then I took it. I wish I kept all that stuff. I thought it was so cool after I broke it into a million pieces that I took all of the pieces home in a bag. Candy glass. I don't know if I thought I was going to eat it or what the deal was, but so that was pretty cool. I think I even had like some of the cast like sign pieces of it, but who knows where it went.
What was your first experience seeing Halloween 4? I'm obviously at 10. Well, I was 10 at that same time. I saw it when it was out in theaters. What was your first experience seeing it in the movie theater?
I think I went with a bunch of my friends. I don't know why they let us in. We were so young, but I thought it was so cool. I mean, I was on a soap opera at the time, so I'd only done like television stuff. So this is like my first time I saw myself on a big screen. It was awesome. But I hated that outfit that I wore. I remember being super self-conscious that I thought my butt looked big. And those awful jeans that I was wearing. I was just a stupid kid. Like 11:30, midnight-ish, you had like your lunch break. As a 10-year-old, you're like in bed way before then. So, and they would make me like, I had the same, it's like spaghetti or French fries. It's just still what I pretty much eat for dinner. I had French fries for dinner tonight, which are really good here at the hotel, by the way, if you guys haven't had them. But it's like they treated me like an adult, and I had a lot of people looking out for me and taking care of me, and I had just a really fun time. They had a really nice balance of like making sure that I wasn't scared, because I think it could really mess you up if you're like really being put in that situation. And I was more scared of, there were a bunch of times where like I was like waiting around the corner for them to yell action for me to then like come running around the building or doing something. And I was never scared of when I was running around the building being chased by Michael Myers, but I was always scared having to wait around the corner by myself in the dark before they yelled action, because then there's no one around you. You're just out of sight. So everyone says, "Oh, were you scared making the movie?" It's like, no, because you're in a room full of this many people, so you can't be scared. But when you're outside the door waiting to come in is when it's dark and cold and you're alone, and it gets a little creepy.
How soon after you finished 4 did you go into making 5? Was it
1 year exactly, right afterwards. We filmed them both in Salt Lake City, Utah. So it was, I think, April, and then April, May. It was like a 3-month shoot, April, May, June.
As a kid moving into that next movie, how did you approach playing Jamie differently than your first time in 4?
Oh shit, there was no like method acting at all. I was just excited because I got to learn some sign language, and I mean, nobody really told me like what mute was. I had no clue. I was just like, oh, scream with no voice. And you're like, oh, you know how to do that. And then you just do it. And it's like that whole scene in the opening of Halloween 5 where I'm in the hospital was done in like one take. I had to wrap out because as a kid, like over a certain amount of hours, and it was like sun was coming up, and they were like, we have to get this because we're leaving the hospital. So they just said, okay, let's just roll it and we'll just shoot it, and whatever happens, happens. So I think from the time where Jamie starts having the nightmare in bed to sitting up into the camera screaming, them coming in and rushing her out was just one take, and we got it and we moved on.
Now, of course, you got to return to Halloween with Rob Zombie's Halloween, and then H2 as well. What was that like for you returning to that franchise, but this time as Annie Brackett?
It was really nice. It was like going back home. You know, I remember I was day one on set, and I was in the van, and I was going to the set, and Tyler Mane was in the front seat, and he had his mask in his hand, and there's something called it's called streaks and tips. It's like a spray that you spray on yourself to make you look dirty, and it's very specific, so it reminds me of working on Halloween because it's supposed to age your clothes, and Tyler had it all over his clothes, and I was brought right back to making Halloween. It was really kind of a cool thing. But I was telling Scout, who played Lori, I'm kind of passing the torch, sort of this is your thing now, because I only worked a few days on that Halloween.
Yeah. With that particular movie, we had the premiere for it at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, and then also H2 premiered there as well too. Audiences really kind of were split down the middle between what their opinion of and what they thought of it. What was your thoughts on it? I mean, personally, I love the fact that you first part of the movie is an entirely new take on what you know about Michael Myers, and then you get into stuff where you pay little nods and relive what was in the first movie. What attracted you to the script?
I mean, I really liked the remake. I don't know. I think people bitched about it and then went and saw it 5 times. Yeah. So kind of well, whatever. But I'm a fan of Rob Zombie, so if you're a fan of his work, I think you'll really dig it. I miss the classic stuff. I'm really a fan of less is more. So I didn't maybe love that the mask would look like that. I didn't love the knife had to be giant. There were definitely some things that I just were bigger, badder. It's Michael Myers. But I think there were some really scary, cool elements. It was shot really dark and fucked up, which I like seeing that. But I don't know, there's no comparison. It's they're two totally different things. So I think it's cool for what it was. If it wasn't Halloween, it would have been awesome. I was not a fan of Halloween 2. Yeah. I liked my stuff with Brad Dourif. I thought we were kind of in a separate movie than everybody else. But there were 3 movies going on in that movie. I think he couldn't figure out which one he wanted to make, so he just made them all, and we just kind of had to guess.
Yeah, well, also too, the director's cuts on those are so completely different.
Yeah, the director's cuts are always better. The studio just gets in and messes it up. I've heard really good things about it, so I do want to go see it. I will. I'll be honest.
They did make a mistake, though, even though it would not have been the same character, it would have been really something cool, that had you in there as Lori's daughter.
I don't know why they're so weird about that. It's I say, the people that are going to go see this movie don't care about the celebrity. It would be cooler, people that are going to pay to go see it would probably think would be awesome if I would be back in it with her. So I don't know, I don't really get why, I don't know, maybe they don't have enough Twitter followers or something.
Especially also too with the fact that you're ignoring everything else and you're rebooting it again. Right. So what harm does it take to have you?
I mean, maybe if I didn't do Rob Zombies, they would have considered that. I'm not sure. I don't know. There's really very little consistency with this franchise. So, and then I don't know. They say they're not making any more, but I'll bet you they make more. They just want you to go.
Too much money.
It's it's like people that do the last concert ever. It's every year is the last concert ever, Crazy.
Yep. It's pretty crazy what they do with this franchise. We know that. All right, so what did you guys think of that clip from Ms. Danielle Harris? That was from, like I said, the 2019 Mad Monster Party in Charlotte, North Carolina. I thought that was a pretty good summation of her feelings on some of the films. I was going to pull up one more flashback for you guys while we're on the subject. There we go. Holding her Halloween Daily News decal proudly. That goes back 6 years ago now, back to 2015. at Flashback Weekend. I think some of you guys go to Flashback, and some of you guys that watch this were probably there at that very convention. You see, I'm rocking my Haddonfield High shirt, but yeah, love that shot. We've got all kinds of amazing photos from that weekend at HalloweenDailyNews.com. All you got to do is search for Flashback Weekend. We covered that from start to finish that weekend and head to toe, and it was amazing. It was like a mini, like a 37 years of terror type thing almost. Not quite that many franchise people, but almost. Yeah, and I agree with you guys. Yeah, those shots, her as Annie and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Again, I mean, not to get on a whole thing. I know I've been on a thing, but I mean that movie and Zombie, they get so much shit, and some of it definitely justified. But yeah, I mean, like she said, I mean, her and Brad, they were in their own rhythm, and what they were doing. I mean, if you just take her, Annie and Lee Brackett's scenes together. I mean, my God, that is so. Like you guys are saying, some of both of their finest work that they've ever done, and these are just icons that we love and have given so much to the genre, and to see them just really, doing some stuff. And just one more thing on Halloween 2 for now, Rob Zombie's. Watch the director's cut if you haven't ever watched that. That's all I can say, because it is a much better version, especially of that one. The director's cut of 07, you could go either way. I mean, I don't personally find a whole lot of value in the extended rape escape in the director's cut of that one. I do like that Michael's kind of the good guy in that scenario, if there is a such thing, but pure evil is kind of good there. But yeah, I kind of like him busting away from the Devil's Rejects in the theatrical cut when it comes to that. But the sequel, you got to go with the director's cut. I mean, it's just a few seconds here and there, and some of Scott and Danielle's finest work, and certainly some of Brad's in Annie's death scene. I mean, that just, as I said, it breaks my heart every time I watch it. Even just thinking about it, it's any parent, I think, can feel that anguish, and you hope to only have to imagine that. What's up, Sammy? He says, nice clip. Hadn't seen it before. Thank you. Ken says, good info from her. Thanks. Good. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you guys liked that clip. I thought that was a good one for today. What's up, Senor Creepy Pastero? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thanks for being here, man. All right. Right now, I'm going to do what we do here, and we're going to share just a couple Twitter tweets and Instagram posts using the Michael Myers Monday hashtag that you can see right there. Right there. Right there. Yep. Production value, guys. Anyway, started this hashtag back in 2013 just as, a fun thing to spread the love of this franchise and to see if it would catch on and just to, at the very least, make Mondays a little less sucky and a little more killer. And over the years, it's just taken on a life of its own. Most people don't even know that it started here with HDN, but that's where it started. And so now I try to share a couple posts each week just of how people kind of make it their own and just the different ways that people use this hashtag and celebrate this day. And like I've said, sometimes it's memes or GIFs or cosplay or comedy or collections or just photos like that, with people they've met or their favorite stills from the films. It's all out there. So Here's just a very small sampling of some of them from today. This first one does come from Twitter. This is Beth at Beth Manji, and she just hashtags it up with a pumpkin, a knife, and 2 black hearts, and there's one of those gifts I'm talking about. Take that Monday. And again, sometimes Michael is the Monday. Sometimes Monday is getting slaughtered by Michael. And again, it's all how people want to take it and want to use it. And I just think that's great. Monday motivation. If your motivation is attacking the day and the week the way Michael attacks this poor woman in Halloween 6, then yeah, you're gonna get some shit done that day. This next one also from Twitter. This is Jamie at the Shape03. Yes, Jack-o'-lantern and Michael Myers Monday. But yeah, I think we can all relate to this. I've been ready for October since last October. Yeah, I think we can all relate to that. And, of course, great photo by the great Kim Gottlieb Walker from the set of Halloween 78. Another one, this is from Julia Gulia on Twitter. At Julia Says, fun Michael Myers Monday fact: Mike does not like to get stabby in the rain. And there's one of those fun behind the scenes photos that surfaced from the set. Halloween 2018. All right, moving over to Instagram now. This is from the Horror of It All. And this is some of that Monday motivation and Michael Myers Monday, mashing it all up together. There you see Tommy saying, "Oh no, this is Monday. Where you're trying to go is the weekend. You're going to want to turn down Labor Lane, make a left on Misery Avenue, go over the hump, and make that long stretch of road through the town of Monotony." Again, finding new meanings and new purpose for Michael Myers Monday all the time. Also from Instagram, this is Jason Miller Art. He says, "Happy Myers Monday, y'all." Art card I did a while ago, and always love seeing people's artwork of the shape. This is yet another pretty original looking take on it. I like how he's got his this horror sticker style logo down there. Jason Miller Art. Another one from Instagram. This is, she goes by the handle Fright and Fit, and she actually shares Michael Myers Monday photos every single week, loyally, always tags us on the Instagram, and this is what I mean about Monday motivation, and about how everybody just takes this hashtag and makes, and gets what they need from it. And she has been on this journey of fitness, and she runs a gym, and this is her whole thing. She loves horror, and she loves fitness. And so, yeah, she's always tagging us every week, and we love her support and using the Michael Myers Monday hashtag, and always rocking her Myers merch, her garb, at the gym every week. And there you can read that she says, "What makes me happy? Picking up heavy shit and putting it down. Also cheese fries," which ironically this picture is how I look at a plate of cheese fries. Don't we all? Anyway, I cannot explain what getting into weightlifting has done for me, what it will continue to do. Find what you love and let it kill you or just consume you. I mean, come on. I think we can all, we can all relate to that. So, props to her. I don't know her real name. It's Fright and Fit on Instagram. But, yeah, definitely a Super Michael Myers Monday supporter, and probably the most fit out there of all of us. Also from Instagram, I love this one from Terrell88. And again, I think we can all, if you're watching this right now, I'm sure you can relate. What do you think you'll be doing in your golden years? And me, and there you see, she's, of course, watching Halloween 78. I mean, yeah. You want the honest answer? Yeah, there we go. I think that's pretty. I think we can all relate to that. And oh yeah, one more from Instagram. Once again, we talked about him earlier. The Tyler Main himself. That's right. That's got the blue check. That's the real one. If there's any other ones on Instagram, it's a fake. That's the real one. That's the Tyler Main on Instagram. He says, when you come face to face with an old friend again, who are you most excited to see now that things are getting back to normal? Tag them. And, of course, a shot from one of the movies we were discussing earlier. So that's a good question. Now that things are coming back together, back to life in so many ways. Oh, let me get back on screen. There we go. Now that things are coming back to life in so many ways, and in so many places, so many venues, so many events, live events, conventions coming back. I agree with Tyler. That's a good question. Who are you most excited to see? If you watched Sean's live last week, that we were having some fun saying that was our lead in last week, a good double feature. But somebody asked him what of his clients are the most excited to get back to cons, and he said it's definitely by far James Jude Courtney. And that makes perfect sense to me because James, he never did a convention until 40 Years of Terror in 2018. That was his debut. And just over a year later, barely a year and a half later, not even, February, March of 2020, of course, he had to stop. So this is the guy, the guy, like the guy in this franchise right now. And he's the hottest thing on the convention circuit. And then COVID hits and conventions stop. So I'm sure James can't wait to get out there. I mean, he's told me, he said in the interview, and he's expressed as much privately that he loves getting out there and meeting you guys and us and being around us. And so that's going to be exciting. Summit says that scene in H2 with Annie and Brackett is the most emotional scene in the series, especially in the director's cut. I think I would agree. And again, the current films are dealing a lot with trauma, but I mean, I don't want to get on a whole, Halloween 2 thing necessarily, but, I've said before, that movie really does, especially that director's cut, deal with some trauma when you're talking about Annie and Laurie. All of them, I mean, but yeah, it's fractured people, not just fractured, broken, like shattered individuals, and it shows that ain't much gonna put them back together at this point, and it just goes downhill when Michael comes back for one more round. Byron's getting son and host real soon. That's awesome. Postero says Freddy, Jason, and Michael versus the tall man of Phantasm. Now, that'd be interesting. Wow. All three of them against the tall man. That could be pretty wild. I think it might be overkill at this particular point in history. But let's face it, it's just a matter of time before we see a whole DC versus Marvel thing, before they're gonna, I could certainly see that at some point, Yeah, David says it's the H2 scene with Annie is up there with the H4 ending. Yes. Yeah, that's another one. Almost, that sends chills up my spine every time I watch it, too. That's a good debate, though. What is the most emotionally hard-hitting scene in the franchise? I think Loomis's reaction at the end of 4 is definitely a candidate. Annie's death, specifically brackets discovery of Annie's death and his, uh, you know, yeah, just Durf's performance is just, like I said, it guts me and breaks my heart every single time I watch it. But that Loomis screaming no at the end of H4, that does as well. It's a good question. You guys debate. All right, Kimberly Henserling. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to the live chat. David, yeah, goosebumps every time. David agrees. Yep. Jake Blaster Productions. Matt, I hope you can join us for the Road to Kills Halloween 4 Watch Party Wednesday, June 16th. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to do that. I got to check my schedule. If you guys don't know, Jake Blaster on Twitter and the Halloween verse that I'm always talking about every week. I usually share some of their tweets. I've been telling you guys about the Halloween verse. Well, Jake Blaster is working with all those hilariously talented people, and they're all doing watch parties, Road to Kills, all year leading up to Halloween Kills. Lots of cool watch parties, and so yeah, you guys want to get in on that? Go follow them on Twitter and look up that hashtag Road to Kills, and of course the Halloween verse. And yeah, Jake Blaster is your man right there. Kimberly says, huge fan, awesome. Well, you are in the right place. This is the place for the Myers mega fans. That's so welcome. Let's all toast Kimberly to the new blood. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Saint says it broke my heart when Buster Rhymes beat up Myers. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, that's pretty amazing that ever even happened. Yeah, I think that broke a lot of hearts in a different way. That was emotional in another way, not in the same way. Definitely heartbreaking though. I would agree with you there. All right, Ken's got to go. All right, man. Yeah, we're going to be wrapping it up here in just a few minutes anyway, but thanks for joining us, Ken. You have a good night, bro. Happy Michael Myers Monday. All right, well, it is after midnight, guys. Like I said, I'm going to go in just a few minutes, but if you got anything specific you want to throw out real quick, I'll try to answer or comment if it's not a big conversation. Byron says Halloween 5 Rachel dying is one that got me, but not in a good way. Yeah, you mean super emotional. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody pretty much hated to see Rachel go in that film. You know, she's such a likable hero, and we're thinking she's kind of our new Laurie, even though Jamie's kind of our new Laurie, but she's still, so much younger. So that's a good one. That's a good one, Rachel. Byron's asking, when is Terrifier 2 coming out? Currently, they do not have a release date. Damien, the last public post that he made was that the Terrifier 2 Facebook page had been suspended or taken down for some reason, and he was saying follow the original Terrifier page, there'll be updates. Yeah, in my inquiries with him directly, yeah, they're still working on securing distribution. It could be this year. I kind of feel like that'd be a quick turnaround, but it is possible somebody like Epic Pictures, who released it, the first Terrifier, could jump in there real quick, make a sweet deal, have a Blu-ray and VOD release out by like this October or even September if Damien gets it done. Which I think, again, when I interviewed him, which now it's been 6 weeks ago or so, um, I think he said he was about 75% done editing, and once he gets it even in not even a final form but a presentable form to shop around to distributors, that would be the next step. So exactly where they are with that, I'm not sure. Yeah, you guys, I agree. Rachel dying was a terrible idea. Someone's asking if there's any special plans once the Kills trailer releases, like a live stream that day or something. Yes. Yeah. Definitely planning to do a live stream whatever day the trailer releases. If we know ahead of time, that'll be great. Then we can, set a set time and all. But yeah, whatever day that happens, I do plan on doing a live stream to discuss it in depth, uh, pretty much shot for shot. All right, Ryan is out. Yep, I think we're wrapping it up here in just a minute anyway. Thank you for being here, Ryan. Rock on, brother. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Byron says, Happy Death Day 3 is officially happening in The Nun 2. I hadn't heard about that, but I'm not surprised about either. Off the subject, just real quick, I did watch the new Conjuring movie over the weekend. Thought it was great. Really enjoyed it. Love those movies in general. But yeah, I thought the third one was great. Next chapter, especially for the core franchise, a great third film. I thought the new villain was really good, and kind of the ties back into the Annabelle movies and some of the other stuff I thought was really good. And I just love Ed and Lorraine in general in real life, and just how they're depicted in these films, both the performances and just how they're treated as just these superheroes of the occult, which is awesome. Yes, Summit. Summit. I plan to do an in-depth analysis, shot for shot, pretty much shot for shot, and yeah, I anticipate that will be a live thing because we're all gonna want to talk, and talk our way through it. Honestly, it's gonna be an exciting time, no matter what. It's gonna be 2 minutes that is gonna be dissected by myself, by you guys, by everybody for a while. Yeah, every day that goes by that we don't get like an official poster or something, it's almost like I am thinking Universal is playing the short game now because of COVID, because of everything, and it will come closer to the Forever Purge, like a lot of people are thinking, 4th of July weekend, either right before or even right after. Get that one out there. And one that I keep forgetting about because they haven't released any new marketing material for it lately, but we do have a new Candyman movie also coming. Last I heard, it was dated for August, if I'm not mistaken. And that's a Universal release as well. And that's a very similar audience to Halloween Kills. Obviously, they're both legacy titles, not, Candyman's not quite as legacy as Halloween. Not much is, but I'd argue it's bigger and more legacy than The Purge. So I would think we're probably going to be getting a new trailer for that first, literally any day now, and then Kills. And it very well could be a very sudden thing, kind of like The Purge. But I'm hoping, again, we could go back. Byron says July 12th is his bet. We could go back to that fateful week in June of 2018 again. You know, it started on Monday, and Jason Blum said that the trailer was coming, and we all lost our minds. And then there was photos released, and on Tuesday, and then there was a teaser, little 10-second tease of the trailer released on Wednesday. And then there was a little bit of a clip featuring Laurie released on Thursday. And it was just like Michael week. And it worked. And the film, coasted and rode that wave for, the next 4 months right into October, and then broke records and became the biggest slasher of all time. So, and it was this week, 3 years ago, that all that happened. I would love to think that it's going to be a similar rollout like that. Like, hey, some heads up and some build. But everything being the way it is, I'm thinking more and more with each day that it's going to be more like The Purge, where it's going to be like, hey, it's coming tomorrow, and then it's going to drop, and then there's going to be a poster and stills, and then it's going to, all I know is that when we come back next Monday, let's mark our calendars now. This is June 7th. Now it's officially June 8th. We're into Tuesday now, Terrifier Tuesday, I guess. But when we come back, there we go. Something better to look at than me while I'm yapping here to wrap this up. When we come back in a week, it'll be June 14th. That means we're exactly 4 months from that point until the release date of HK. 4 months is a promotional marketing window that is very, it's not very expansive. It's not huge, but it's very exactly where this franchise was in 2018 when they really kicked it off. And yeah, I am hoping that the trailer is as good as that first one in 2018. And I hope it gives me goosebumps like it gave me in 2018. And, but like I keep saying, I mean, every day it's like, I don't know how much warning we're even going to get. I think it might just, they might just surprise us. And it's not going to be a 5-day build-up this time. But we'll have to wait and see. Awesome. Looks like some of you guys know each other, Patrick and David. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, Byron says they killed the bathroom scene in H18. They ruined the trailer and Vicky's death. Yeah, I mean, they definitely, showed arguably too much. But again, I talked about that last week. I think they're going to, arguably show a little too much of this one. But, it is what it is. And it's, they've got to sell it to a mass audience. They're not going to market it just to us. Because honestly, we're already sold. We're already got our tickets bought. They can put out no trailer. They can put out nothing else at this point. And I'm there opening night. I don't know about you guys, but, All right. Well, it is 13 minutes, lucky 13 minutes after midnight. So it is officially no longer Monday where I'm at. Even though, it's always Michael Myers Monday, it's always Halloween Daily. So, uh, as always, I want to thank you guys for watching tonight, for being here, for participating. It's been fun. Sorry I didn't have too much exciting news for tonight, but hopefully we had some fun nonetheless. Like I said, I am planning on being here next week. If anything changes, I'll let you know. But plan on joining me. I do plan to do another live episode of the Halloween show, also this month at some point. It won't be this Friday, but possibly next Friday, maybe the one after. And yeah, whenever that trailer does drop, or for that matter, a new Terrifier 2 trailer, or any of the big films that we are covering at HDN that we've been following. Yeah, I want to walk through it all with you guys and get your thoughts and have a community thing. So yeah, that's the plan. Is when that trailer does drop, we'll set a time for that afternoon, that evening at some point. Maybe we'll do the 10:30 late night thing because it seems to free up the airwaves a little bit when we're out here, somewhat later than I think some of the other guys do their lives. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a good night, have a good week, and be sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel. I think most of you watching at this point have, but if you haven't, be sure to do that. Hit the like button if you're watching and you haven't done that already, because that helps a lot too, apparently. And tell your friends that love this shit. This is where it's at on Monday nights. And, also, if you want to learn more about any of the stuff that we've talked about here, you can always, of course, go to the main website, HalloweenDailyNews.com. Oh, yeah, turn on the notifications. I think I already said that. All right, guys. I think I've said it all. I'm going to get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Happy Michael Myers Monday. As always, I can't thank you enough for being here. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy Michael Myers Monday.